Here is something most people never think about. Your skin is not just a covering. It is a living, breathing, constantly rebuilding system that requires specific raw materials to function. And right now, if you are over 50 or 60, that system is most likely running dangerously low on the exact molecules it needs to keep itself firm, hydrated, and structurally in. The beauty industry has spent decades convincing you that the answer comes in a bottle, a jar, or a syringe. But the truth that nobody in that industry wants you to know is that your skin cannot be fixed from the outside. The rebuilding has to happen from within. And the raw materials it needs are sitting quietly on a grocery store shelf in the form of 5 inexpensive seeds that most people walk right past without a second glance. Before we talk about the seeds, I want you to do something. Hold your hand out in front of you and really look at it. Not a casual glance, but a genuine, honest look. See those fine lines running across the back of your hand? Notice how the skin sits a little differently than it used to. A little looser, a little less anchored to what is underneath. Now pinch a small fold of skin on the back of your hand, hold it for a second, and let go. Did it snap back immediately the way it once did when you were younger? Or did it linger for a moment, settling slowly back into place as if it had forgotten the urgency of youth? That simple test is not just a curiosity. It is a biological report card telling you exactly what is happening in the deepest layer of your skin right now. And what it is telling you is that something critical is missing. That missing something is not moisturizer. It is not hyaluronic acid serum. It is not retinol, peptides, vitamin C cream, or any of the hundreds of products the beauty industry is desperate to sell you this year. The deep structural layer of your skin, the layer that determines whether your face looks 50 or 70, whether your skin sags or stays firm, and whether wrinkles deepen or soften, that layer is starving for raw biological materials. Specific molecules that your skin cells need to manufacture collagen, rebuild elastin, repair the lipid barrier that keeps moisture locked in, and fight the oxidative and inflammatory damage that is breaking the whole system down faster than it can rebuild. My name is Dr. Thomas Reed, and today I am going to walk you through 5 specific seeds, each one targeting a different dimension of skin aging, each one delivering the exact compounds your skin has been missing for years. To understand why these seeds matter so deeply, you need to understand what is actually happening inside your skin as you age. Your skin has 3 layers. The outermost is the epidermis, the waterproof surface layer you can see and touch. Beneath it is the dermis, the structural engine of the skin responsible for firmness, thickness, and that youthful bounce. Deeper still is the hypodermis, a fat layer that provides cushioning and contour. The dermis is where aging happens, and it is made primarily of 2 structural proteins. Collagen, which makes up roughly 75 to 80% of the dermis, and provides the tensile strength that keeps skin from sagging. And elastin, which makes up a smaller fraction but is disproportionately important because it gives skin its snapback quality, its ability to move freely and return to its original shape without creasing or folding. Woven through that collagen and elastin framework is hyaluronic acid, one of the most extraordinary molecules in the human body. A single molecule of hyaluronic acid can hold up to 1,000 times its own weight in water. That water-holding capacity is what gives young skin its plump, dewy, almost luminous appearance. Now here is what changes after 60. Collagen production drops by roughly 1 to 1.5% every single year beginning in your mid-20s. By 60, you have lost somewhere between 30 and 40% of the collagen you had at your biological peak. But it gets worse because it is not just about production slowing down. The enzymes that destroy collagen, called matrix metalloproteinases, become more aggressive with age due to chronic inflammation. So your skin is producing less collagen while simultaneously destroying what remains at an accelerating rate. The net result is a structural collapse happening slowly, invisibly, and continuously inside your skin every single day. Elastin tells an even more unsettling story. Unlike collagen, which turns over slowly throughout your life, the elastin in your adult skin is essentially the same elastin that was laid down during childhood and early development. Those fibers have been stretching and recoiling for 60 or 70 years. Over time, they fracture, fragment, and lose their elastic properties. When new elastin does form, the fibers are often shorter, less organized, and far less functional than the originals. Hyaluronic acid follows the same downward trajectory. By 60, your skin contains roughly half the hyaluronic acid it held at 20, which means less water retention, a thinner dermis, and every fine line and wrinkle becoming more visible and pronounced. At the same time, the lipid barrier in the epidermis is thinning. This barrier, made of ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids arranged in precise protective sheets, is the waterproofing system that prevents moisture from escaping. When it weakens, water leaves the skin freely, and all the hyaluronic acid and collagen in the world cannot compensate for a leaking barrier above. But there is a fifth process underneath all of these that accelerates everything else, and it is called fibroblast senescence. Fibroblasts are the master builders of the dermis. They produce collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, and all the other structural components that keep skin looking young and firm. In healthy, youthful skin, they are abundant, active, and highly responsive to growth signals. After 60, a growing proportion of these fibroblasts enter a state of senescence. They are still alive, but they have stopped working. They have stopped dividing. They have stopped producing collagen and hyaluronic acid. And most devastatingly, they have started releasing a toxic mixture of inflammatory molecules and collagen-destroying enzymes into the surrounding tissue. These senescent fibroblasts spread their dysfunction to neighboring healthy cells, creating an expanding zone of structural collapse that manifests on the surface as sagging, wrinkles, and crepiness. This is precisely why topical products alone will never fully solve skin aging. No serum can penetrate deeply enough to reach senescent fibroblasts in the dermis. The solution must come from within, through the bloodstream, through what you choose to eat every day. The first seed is flaxseed, and it attacks the foundational driver of all the destruction we just described. After 60, your body lives in a state of persistent low-grade inflammation that researchers have given a name to: Inflammaging. It is not the dramatic, obvious inflammation of an infection or an injury. It is a slow, smoldering biological fire that burns quietly inside your tissue, producing pro-inflammatory molecules that chronically activate those matrix metalloproteinase enzymes that chew through your collagen and elastin fibers around the clock. Flax seeds are the richest plant source of alpha-linolenic acid, a short-chain omega-3 fatty acid in the entire food supply. Just 2 tablespoons of ground flax seed delivers about 3.5 grams of it, more per serving than any other food you can buy. In the body, alpha-linolenic acid converts into longer-chain omega-3 fatty acids that produce specialized molecules called resolvins and protectins. These are not simply anti-inflammatory compounds. They actively resolve inflammation, meaning they initiate the biological shutdown of inflammatory cascades and restore tissue to a calm, non-inflammatory state. For your skin, this means slowing the rate at which those destructive enzymes are breaking down the collagen and elastin you have left. What makes flaxseed even more extraordinary, and most people have never heard this, is that it contains lignans. Flax seeds have up to 800 times more lignans than any other food on the planet. These compounds are converted by your gut bacteria into molecules with mild estrogenic activity, meaning they gently bind to estrogen receptors throughout the body, including in the skin, and produce a soft, sustained estrogen-like effect. This matters profoundly after 60 because estrogen is one of the most important hormones for skin health. It drives collagen synthesis, promotes hyaluronic acid production, and maintains the integrity of the lipid barrier. After menopause, the dramatic fall in estrogen is one of the primary reasons women lose up to 30% of their dermal collagen in just 5 years. The lignans in flaxseed provide a gentle, food-based replacement signal to the fibroblast that supports collagen and hyaluronic acid production without the risks that come with synthetic hormone therapy. A published study found that lignan supplementation from flaxseed improved skin hydration and reduced roughness in post-menopausal women, with measurable results confirmed by clinical assessment. The practical recommendation is 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flaxseed daily. Grinding is essential because whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system entirely intact, and the nutrients are never released. Grind them in a coffee grinder or buy pre-ground flaxseed meal and store it in the refrigerator to prevent the delicate omega-3 fatty acids from oxidizing. The second seed is Chia, and it addresses a dimension of skin aging that almost no dermatologist ever discusses openly. Most people think about skin hydration in 2 ways: drinking more water and applying moisturizer. Both matter, but both miss the deeper issue entirely. The dermis has its own internal hydration system built around hyaluronic acid, and this system requires specific minerals to function. The enzyme that builds hyaluronic acid, called hyaluronan synthase, depends on magnesium and manganese as cofactors. Without them, it simply cannot run at full speed. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds provide about 95 milligrams of magnesium, roughly 23% of your daily requirement, along with meaningful amounts of manganese. This means that every time you eat chia seeds, you are directly fueling the biological machinery responsible for producing the very molecules that keep your dermis plump and hydrated from the inside. And then there is the physical property of chia seeds that is directly relevant to how hydration reaches your skin. When chia seeds are exposed to liquid, they absorb up to 12 times their weight in water, forming a thick gel. When you consume this gel, it slows water absorption in the intestines, releasing hydration gradually into the bloodstream over several hours rather than all at once. This creates a sustained, steady water supply to the dermis that gives hyaluronic acid molecules exactly what they need to hold water effectively. Chia seeds also deliver about 177 milligrams of calcium per ounce, which matters for skin in a way most people never consider. The differentiation of the cells that build your epidermal barrier is entirely calcium dependent. Each developmental stage of those cells is triggered by increasing calcium concentrations, and when calcium is insufficient, the barrier forms incorrectly, becoming thinner and less effective at preventing water loss. There is one more mechanism worth understanding. Your skin cells contain specialized water channel proteins called aquaporins, particularly aquaporin 3, which transport both water and glycerol through cell membranes. After 60, the expression of these channels declines, and the skin becomes drier from the inside regardless of what you apply topically. The magnesium in chia seeds supports aquaporin 3 expression through cellular signaling pathways, while the omega-3 fatty acids improve cell membrane fluidity so these water channel proteins can function at full capacity. Stiff, oxidized membranes physically restrict the channels. Chia seeds also contain zinc, which is required for cross-linking newly produced collagen into stable, mature fibers. Without zinc, collagen remains immature and is rapidly broken down before it ever strengthens the skin. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds daily is the recommendation, and unlike flaxseed, they require no grinding. Their small size allows digestive enzymes to access the nutrients naturally. The third seed is hemp, and it earns its place on this list for one reason that towers above everything else. Hemp seeds are the only commonly consumed seed that provides a direct dietary source of gamma-linolenic acid, and gamma-linolenic acid is the single most powerful fatty acid for repairing the skin's outer protective barrier. Think of the outermost skin layer as a brick wall. The bricks are dead skin cells. The mortar between them is made of ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids arranged in precisely structured sheets. This mortar is what actually keeps water inside your skin and keeps irritants out. Gamma-linolenic acid is converted directly into the compounds that produce the specific long-chain ceramides responsible for the most robust waterproofing function in that mortar. The problem is that as you age, the enzyme responsible for converting dietary fats into gamma-linolenic acid becomes progressively less active. This creates a deficiency even if your overall diet is otherwise excellent. Hemp seeds bypass this enzymatic bottleneck entirely by delivering gamma-linolenic acid already formed and ready for the body to use. A published clinical study found that gamma-linolenic acid supplementation significantly reduced water loss through the skin and increased hydration levels in people with dry, aging skin, with visible improvements appearing within just a few weeks of consistent use. Hemp seeds are also a complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids in a single food. 3 tablespoons provide about 10 grams of high-quality, easily digestible protein. This is directly relevant to collagen synthesis, because collagen is a protein, and its production requires specific amino acids, particularly glycine and proline. Hemp seeds provide both generously, for someone over 60 whose protein digestion may have slowed with age. This plant-based complete protein is highly bioavailable and gives the fibroblasts the raw building material they need. Hemp seeds also contain arginine, which the body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes and dilates the tiny capillaries in the dermis, improving blood flow through the network that delivers oxygen and nutrients to the fibroblasts. No matter how nutritious your food is, if blood flow to the dermis is compromised, the fibroblasts are starved of what they need. Hemp seeds address both the supply and the delivery simultaneously. The omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in hemp seeds is approximately 3:1, which researchers consider close to optimal for reducing systemic inflammation. The typical Western diet sits at a 15-20:1 ratio, meaning most people are existing in a chronically pro-inflammatory state that is continuously accelerating collagen destruction. 3 tablespoons of whole hemp seeds daily is the recommendation. They are mild, creamy, and require absolutely no preparation. The 4th seed is sunflower seed, and it addresses the most visually dramatic category of skin aging, the cumulative damage caused by decades of sun exposure. Photoaging is responsible for up to 90% of the visible changes that people attribute to getting older. Every wrinkle deepened by the sun, every dark spot, every patch of rough, uneven texture, and every area where elasticity has been lost is primarily the result of ultraviolet radiation generating free radicals that attack collagen, elastin, and the DNA of skin cells. The skin's primary line of defense against this damage is vitamin E, specifically the form called alpha tocopherol, which the skin preferentially concentrates in its outermost layers for exactly this purpose. Each vitamin E molecule works by donating an electron to a free radical, neutralizing it before it can damage the structural proteins below. But once a vitamin E molecule has donated its electron, it is depleted. It must be regenerated by vitamin C and continually replenished by dietary intake to maintain the shield. After 60, the skin's vitamin E reserves are chronically depleted by years of cumulative UV exposure, reduced dietary intake, and impaired absorption. Sunflower seeds are the richest commonly consumed dietary source of alpha tocopherol, with 1 ounce providing nearly 50% of the daily recommended intake. A published study found that higher dietary vitamin E intake was independently and significantly associated with fewer wrinkles in older adults, with the association dose dependent, meaning more vitamin E corresponded to progressively less visible wrinkling. Sunflower seeds also contain selenium, a trace mineral that activates a second line of antioxidant defense through enzymes called glutathione peroxidases. These enzymes neutralize a category of damaging molecules called lipid peroxides that vitamin E alone cannot reach. Together, vitamin E and selenium create what researchers specifically call antioxidant synergy, a combined protective effect far greater than either nutrient could achieve independently. Beyond antioxidant protection, sunflower seeds supply copper, which is a required cofactor for an enzyme called lysyl oxidase. This enzyme creates the molecular cross-link bridges that give both collagen and elastin their mechanical strength. Without copper, these newly produced fibers remain loose, poorly organized, and structurally useless. Copper also powers a form of superoxide dismutase inside skin cells that converts some of the most aggressive free radicals into harmless molecules, protecting the very fibroblasts whose job it is to rebuild the dermis. Additionally, sunflower seeds provide pantothenic acid, which supports ceramide synthesis in the epidermal barrier through a different biochemical pathway than gamma-linolenic acid, meaning these two seeds together cover the barrier from two distinct and complementary angles. 1 ounce of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds daily is the recommendation. Roasting significantly degrades the vitamin E content, so raw seeds are essential for maximum benefit. The 5th seed is pumpkin seed, and it completes this protocol by delivering the minerals that govern skin cell renewal and structural assembly at the most fundamental level. Zinc is the central player, and its importance to skin biology is almost impossible to overstate. The skin contains roughly 5% of the body's total zinc supply, a concentration that reflects the sheer number of critical biological roles zinc plays in skin function. It is required for DNA polymerase, the enzyme that copies DNA during cell division, meaning that without adequate zinc, the skin literally cannot replace damaged cells efficiently. After 60, the natural cell turnover rate slows from roughly 28 days to 40, 50, or even 60 days. Damaged, discolored, rough cells linger on the surface for weeks longer than they should. They pile up in the creases of wrinkles, making lines appear deeper and more permanent than they actually are. They create uneven texture, dullness, and a complexion that looks older than the underlying biology warrants. Zinc from pumpkin seeds directly accelerates this renewal by supporting the DNA replication machinery that drives cell division in the basal layer, pushing older damaged cells off the surface sooner and replacing them with fresher, healthier cells that reflect light more evenly and hold moisture more effectively. Pumpkin seeds also contain silicon, a trace element that sits at the molecular junction points between collagen fibers and facilitates the cross-linking reactions that create structural integrity in the connective tissue matrix. A published study found that silicon supplementation improved skin elasticity, measurably reduced wrinkle depth, and strengthened both hair and nails in women with visible signs of photoaging, with the improvements attributed to enhanced collagen cross-linking. Iron from pumpkin seeds supports the hydroxylation of proline and lysine residues in collagen molecules, a chemical modification that is absolutely essential for the collagen triple helix to fold correctly and remain stable. Without hydroxylation, collagen degrades rapidly before it can integrate into the dermis. And tryptophan from pumpkin seeds supports melatonin production, which in the skin acts as a potent local antioxidant, protecting against UV-induced oxidative damage, while also supporting the overnight repair cycle during which growth hormone peaks and drives heightened fibroblast activity. 1 ounce of raw pumpkin seeds daily completes everything this protocol needs to address skin aging from 5 different and complementary angles simultaneously. Now here is how you bring all 5 seeds together into a single effortless daily habit. In a large glass jar, combine 2 cups of ground flaxseed, 2 cups of chia seeds, 2 cups of whole hemp hearts, 2 cups of raw sunflower seeds, and 2 cups of raw pumpkin seeds. Stir until thoroughly combined, seal the jar, and store it in the refrigerator or freezer to protect the omega-3 fatty acids. Every morning, scoop out 4 tablespoons of the mix. That single 4 tablespoon serving delivers the complete nutritional toolkit described today. Omega-3 fatty acids and phytoestrogenic lignans from flax target inflammation and hormonal collagen support. Magnesium, manganese, calcium, and hydration support from Chia targeting the dermis's internal moisture architecture. Gamma-linolenic acid and complete protein from hemp targeting barrier repair and collagen amino acid supply. Vitamin E, selenium, and copper from sunflowers target photoaging defense and structural cross-linking. And zinc, silicon, iron, and tryptophan from pumpkin targeting cell renewal and collagen assembly integrity. The entire serving is roughly 200 to 250 calories, with 12 grams of healthy fat, 7 grams of complete protein, and 6 grams of fiber. Sprinkle it over oatmeal, blend it into a smoothie, stir it into yogurt or a salad dressing. The taste is mild and it integrates easily into almost any food you already eat. One pairing that significantly amplifies the effect of the entire mix is vitamin C. Have something rich in vitamin C alongside your seeds every morning. A kiwi, an orange, a handful of strawberries, or a slice of red bell pepper. Vitamin C regenerates depleted vitamin E molecules after they have neutralized free radicals, restoring them to active status. And it is an essential cofactor for the prolyl and lysyl hydroxylase enzymes that modify collagen into its stable, functional form. Without vitamin C, the collagen your body produces from the amino acids in hemp seeds will be structurally incomplete and will degrade before it ever strengthens the dermis. One more thing that is non-negotiable. Do not cook the seed mix or add it to hot food before serving. The omega-3 fatty acids in flax and chia are heat-sensitive and degrade when exposed to cooking temperatures. Add the mix to foods after they have been prepared or consume it raw to preserve the resolvins and protectins that are suppressing the very inflammation destroying your collagen right now. The wrinkles you see on your face are not simply the inevitable result of time. They are the visible surface of a supply chain problem. Your skin's manufacturing system is intact. Your fibroblasts, however tired, still know what to do. They just need the raw materials. Give them what they are asking for, consistently and daily, and your skin will do exactly what it was designed to do from the very beginning. It will rebuild.